Okay, let's try this again. Oh, we can be 4. Okay, I don't know what that is. Oh, I do. All right, we are live again, and I'm going to update over here and refresh over here.
It's going to be a different one.
I understand.
Okay. You're going to have to close that now.
I understand.
Oh, no, you turn your sound off.
Okay. We've had a poor experience with going live today with several things, so we're happy to be alive with as much as we are.
Technology.
It's bad today. I don't know.
Just beating us up.
Anyway, we are very, very, very happy to be here.
Yes.
And we just stepped out of the kitchen, working on the kitchen sink, and we're
incremental advancement.
Well, this is the problem. You know, in order to have a sink put in, you have to have the countertop, and we don't have the countertop yet, but we have the hardy board, so we're going to cut the hardy board and stick it inside of that.
Well, my most recent challenge was we have all of the plumbing pieces and parts from what we took out, which are all the right ones to go and fit and so forth to hook up to the dishwasher and on and on. And I had assumed that everything was appropriate for hooking up, and there are a couple of issues with it. So I had to figure that out, back to buy another part, and cheap, but still had to have the
We're so
part.
grateful for Ace Hardware in our little town. Their prices aren't that much different, if at all, from Lowe's, which is 30 minutes away. So, and they stay open till 9, and they say hi to us every time we walk in.
So now what it amounts to is I'm going to get it installed the way that I think it should be.
Is that on your phone?
It's on my phone.
Oh, it's going to do that forever now.
And then I have to put the sink in and hope that everything fits. I might have to make some adjustments. So maybe making another trip. I'm going to expect it back to Ace to get more stuff, but we're real close. I do know what we don't have is the little drains that go in the bottom of the basins.
Oh,
they don't come with it. I assumed they had come with it. They're not there.
Yeah, we'll be heading back to the store. So I want to say hi to Dolly and Christy and Green Gables and Mercedes Flores. And that's all for now.
Very good.
Christy worked for Ace.
Yeah.
Ace is the place for us.
Well, they have so many. They have a good variety, and they're close. That for us is the big deal. So anyway, progress being made, slow and sure. You know, got the cabinet together. Mostly happy with it. Got that finished up. Was it just last night? It was just last night. So all the sides are on, the back's on, the bottom's on.
Just needs the top, the hardy board.
Yeah, we have to put the counter. That's going along.
So,
and the kitchen is not back together, but it's arranged to where it's in the order pretty much that it's going to be.
So this is what I did. I took the 2 corner units that go up in the corners, and they're just sitting right now where my island.
For corner units.
They're sitting where my island would be, and I took they're kind of curved. I took another like plywood board and put over the top so that it's exactly 30 inches by 4 feet, which is what it's going to be. And then I'm measuring from here and measuring from here and walking around it and trying the placement of all my things to see.
She's trying on her kitchen to see if it fits.
That I like it. And I already know I want to change where the pan cupboard is and the drawers are. I'm going to swap those.
Okay. That's why she does it.
Because I keep walking to one for the other. And I thought, just switch them. Don't have to worry about that then.
So anyway, great progress there. So we're happy about that. And that's really the big thing to get that kitchen back together. We're at the end of our rope.
I am at the end of my rope.
Although what's been fascinating is now that we've arranged the kitchen back to where the refrigerator was where it used to be, and the silverware tray is where it used to be, and on and on.
We can't
find anything because we
keep walking to the old place because we've had everything in the living room. So, and there still is. Half the stuff is still in the living room. So if you want olive oil, you walk into that room. If you want a cup, you walk into that
Those
room.
of you who have remodeled, you know just what we're talking about, I'm sure. It keeps us guessing.
Oh, hi, Zany May. We had a nice conversation today.
Cool.
She is.
Cool.
I know where a lot of these people live now. I've been asking.
Good deal.
So that's great. Hi, Jane. Hi to both of you from Ontario. Cold, very little snow here. Well, we don't have any snow where we are.
Supposed to get some Saturday.
Some Saturday, but they've already raised the 3-degree.
Stream was interrupted.
Okay. We're live. We're live.
We resumed.
We resumed?
But it's still buffering here.
Oh.
But this looks like this just needs to catch up. So do a refresh.
Okay.
And it's working.
Okay.
Yeah, just do a refresh.
Everyone. Okay, cool. YouTube is not playing nice today. We were not able at all to use it on our computers. Not any of our computers. The only way we've been able to do it is on our phone.
Well, some of the interface settings for YouTube were different. So I think they're doing upgrades to make things better. Hopefully, eventually it does become better. But
okay,
wasn't our experience
today. So where
today?
were we talking about? What was I saying?
You said something about goats.
No, well, so they all want to know how the goats are.
Yes.
We've been dividing and conquering, and he's been going with the goats, and I've been doing stuff at the house. They're doing amazing well.
They are getting to know us. They're getting a lot more comfortable with us, which is good. They definitely like for me to feed them the cookies that we feed them. We have little bitey things that they like.
You guys, we're not getting messages, so if you can see us, say yes.
We're not getting messages?
Well, the messaging have stopped there, so I just want to make sure.
So you're seeing them here but not there?
No, I'm not seeing them. So this one is working now. I finally see you. I just want to know. Oh my God, I should have used mine. Okay, thank you. I do want to say while we're on the goats, I want to send out our heartfelt sympathies to Trish from Willow Creek because they lost their goat today.
They have more than one though.
Yeah, they only had 2.
Ooh. And
they lost Pumpkin today. So
does she know why?
Pumpkin has not been well since before she was pregnant. So she didn't get her pregnant this last time. She had a poor pregnancy. She doesn't know what her history was. So
okay. Yeah, it's always tough. And I know that's what we're faced with.
Hey, Ethan, welcome. Sharon, welcome.
Goats.
We're scared with the goats. I've seen so many people have goats that die, and I'm just like, oh, I'm not used to having that. So the cold temperatures are really good for us because the parasites won't be there when it's cold.
Right. Kind of hard for the goats cold-wise, but the barn's dry and not drafty, and so that works out. But, it's we have limited goat experience, so the way that they're acting, things that they're doing, we don't know if it's normal, if it's a sign of something we ought to be watching for. Anyway,
it makes us nervous.
Yeah.
I want to say hi to Vid UK. Welcome. Okay. And I missed them, Bob and Melissa up there. So very nice. Living by Faith Homestead, Constance, Iredale, Dorothy, and I think I've said everyone's name. Did we learn from, what is that? Can you learn the La Mancha method. What is that? I don't know what that is. Popped in earlier, but it was too early. Okay.
Yeah. We're here now, and we got it working finally.
We'll see how long it lasts.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, we're learning on them, and I need to be able to. Where's Rose when you need her? I know. Well, Rose is as close as the phone for us. She's made herself very available to us, so that's good.
Helps a bunch.
I do want to Oh, there's somebody I need to make a plug for really quick. First of all, if you guys haven't seen 180 degrees from average, today's video, it's like we coordinated, because our video from today and their video are just parallel each other.
I don't know why you guys are being honest about this. You should say we coordinated.
We didn't, though. I looked at his and I went, oh my goodness. And I said, have you seen ours? And then I looked down and he made a comment. Oh, he has seen ours, but he hadn't seen ours till he made his. So very great video for you guys. So, yeah, I don't know let's see. I thought about having milking goats, but I'm one of those that feels bad if the animal shows the slightest sign of sadness. So I leave the bigger animals to someone else. And, that's what I keep doing, is going, well, do we just leave them there? I mean, do I need to go talk to them every minute or so? What do I need to do with them? I feel like they're more human.
Well, they're much more interactive. I mean, a chicken's a chicken. I mean, they'll come to you if they think you have food. But that's really all the goats are doing. They're not coming saying me.
But they like petted.
Not really. They tolerate it if they think they're going to get food.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So they're wanting food. They're like any other animal. They're just larger.
So
they're more expressive than chickens, though. I mean,
Vid UK said that your work looks good on camera. We're going to make a video on it tonight to just show our updates of what we're doing.
Yeah.
And hopefully you'll get a look at the sink tonight, just if we can put it in there.
You think?
I hope so.
Okay.
Dolly says goats can get very attached to their owners. Well,
yes,
we hope so. We were talking to their old owner last night. She's up in Alaska, and she was saying that Granny used to be alpha, but now Gabby, her daughter, is alpha. Gabby is alpha.
Gabby's alpha?
Yeah, she's the one. She's the one who came right up to me, and when I was trying to do the drencher, and she just took it right from me. And
I guess I'm not seeing.
Who do you think is not Gabby? Not Abby. Gabby.
I'm not seeing anybody who's really.
I'm not seeing anybody.
Yeah.
They all seem great to me.
They're all in a new place.
Yeah.
So I think for them, it's, even though it's the same goats, you would think they'd have the same relationship, but it's a new environment. So they're trying to figure it out.
Dolly has a question. She wants to know our strengths and weaknesses. She can't butcher rabbits.
Strengths and
weaknesses. I'm going to tell you, I don't have rabbits because of that. It all goes back to when I lived in Oregon as a little girl and had two big white fluffy rabbits.
Bunnies.
I
wouldn't call them rabbits.
Bunnies.
This would be bunnies.
Easter bunnies.
Cute.
And we had to move.
Cuddly.
And my dad gave them to my cousins and they ate them. I can't get over the cute factor. Just saying. That's a weakness for me.
Is it?
I just don't want to do it.
There's not a lot of meat on rabbits.
You know what? I guess when I was looking at rabbits and I was like, well, that's really no more than a chicken. And I'd have to kill a really cute thing just to have no more than a chicken.
You don't think chickens are cute?
I do. I like chickens. They're just not as cute.
They're not as cute as rabbits. I'm not going to let the chickens know that.
Okay, so Brenda was talking to Sarah during the time that she was watching the video, and it was Major Leap of Faith. Goats can get very attached to their owners. I already read that. Thanks, you guys, for the video about homesteading dreams and how you should never give up. We have had so many people's lives whom we touched that we just didn't know. And it's been amazing. It's been amazing.
This is a topic that many, many of us can definitely identify with, and we haven't heard it discussed openly a lot. So we felt that'd be a great idea to bring it up because, it's important. But what we had suspected and what's proven to be true, there are a lot of people who, like us, went through a leap of faith kind of experience. Now, we've had to make a couple different leaps to get where we are. And it was the sticking through to get there. But sometimes that's what it takes. It's not always easy. Yeah. It doesn't always come easy.
Oh.
And we hear a lot of folks who they have circumstances that make it even harder, and that tends to hold them back. And that really, I understand it. It makes, I'm not down on that. It's a reality. But almost everybody who's had to make that leap of faith were what may have seemed like insurmountable obstacles. And for us, it was, do we stick with this situation that we can't live with, or do we go to the unknown, which may be worse and, may not be, we don't know. And that's tough. I mean, the devils are better than the devils you don't know is sometimes how we think of it.
But,
right?
but Ethan and Sarah, they did the same thing we did. He came home one day, said, I can't handle my job, and quit on the next Monday. And I just want to tell Dolly.
Let me slightly retract, but explain what I was saying is what our experience has been is the devils we don't know are
not nearly as bad.
They're never as bad as we imagine them to be.
Yeah.
And so as it turns out, things have not always worked out perfectly, but we found a way to work them out.
Well, nothing's easy.
Even right now, we're in a great situation, but it's not going to take care of itself.
So two more comments about the rabbits. Dolly says she and I are kindred spirits. They taste delicious, and the pelt is my favorite, but I can't butcher them. And Isledale Homestead says, I can shoot wild rabbits, and cook them. But I think I'd struggle with the ones that I raised myself.
Well, now a little aside on that, Rinda's high school mascot was?
A jackrabbit. Now, jackrabbits, if you've never been in the desert, are real tall with huge legs. And we were called the mighty jackrabbits. You want me to do my thing?
No, you don't need to do that.
Mighty rabbits, mighty. Anyway, they're not cute.
They're fast.
They're fast.
They are real fast.
And they don't taste good. That's what I've been told, because they don't taste good.
Okay.
I don't know.
Okay.
I heard that you kill rabbits by breaking their neck, which seems like a non-starter for me. And up there, Ethan said that his rabbit things go back to the days when he was younger, and he had a place where they didn't kill them humanely like he thought they should be.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, that's always the challenge. Anytime you have to process an animal, it's a tough thing. What's really the right way to do it?
Ellie Dale. She just
Dale?
told me how to do it.
Okay.
It's really tough to pronounce things on here. Somebody sent me a how to pronounce. See, I'm not going to do it on here because I can't remember the right way.
After all your effort. Oh, very good.
Stanchion, not stanchion. Stanchion.
Almost sounds like it's, upper East Coast, right? It's probably where it came from.
They're different. Okay. One of the classes at mom's school, at the Country Living, was how to butcher rabbits. Dolly, let me talk about your mom for a moment. Anybody who doesn't know, Dolly's mom is Carla Emery, who wrote the great big thick country. I can't remember the name. I have it on my shelf. So Dolly, tell me the name of the book. And we were talking about Carla this morning, and we were talking about Dolly this morning as we laid in bed, and we're talking about being able to have a homestead. And there's so many of us who are in our 60s, and we wanted to go back to the land at that time. Encyclopedia of Country Living.
There we go. And truly it is an encyclopedia.
Yeah. We wanted to go back to the land and live. At that time, most of the people who did it were hippies. Carla was probably...
Not to say hippies are bad. When you think about society, it wasn't mainstream.
It wasn't. And I'm not sure what your mom was, but she was amazing because she stuck with it and did it. And those people, we have a book I've given it to our daughter about homesteading, and they went out in the 70s and did it, but they stuck with it and they're still doing it.
Yeah.
And oh my goodness, how I wish we had done that. And I do. I mean, I don't know that I'd give up the life that I've had. I wouldn't have gone out but it didn't have the same connotation today that it had then. Do you understand what I'm trying to say?
I do.
And everybody who's 60 out there understands that.
Well, you know, there were a lot of differences. I was in the military during that time period, and the view of people in the military was very different then than it is now. Those of you who remember that, you know, you can recall. So a lot of changes since the 70s to now.
So her mom was a combination of a hippie, a gypsy, and a scholar. And I love what Brenda just went, oh, you're almost famous, Dolly. Dolly is famous to us. That's great. And I knew from listening to Esther's talk at the Homesteaders Conference of America, and that she gave, the whole thing was on a tribute to your mom. And it was just so beautifully done. But it came up in our conversation because she did go out and do it while the rest of us stood back and says, well, we have to earn our living. We have to be stable here. We have to do what we need to do.
We were part of the establishment.
And now, yes, we were. And now we're just throwing all caution to the wind. So that's good.
Well, you know, it brings up another aspect of the topic is what was being spoken then, the distrust of what the establishment was saying and doing was looked on as being, you know, just the attitude was like, what are you talking about? I mean, they're here to take care of us. And that's why so many of us said, oh, we should be eating Crisco oil and get rid of the tallow and all those other things because that's not a good thing. And now today we look at what they've been saying and doing. That's the evidence is there that so much of the advice from the USDA, from the as far as what's the right things to eat, the wrong things to eat, it's been financially motivated in a big part of it. So the message that was being described back then is the same message now that we're realizing was true then. It's even more true now. And it's accepted to think of it that way because the evidence is so strong. What?
I just went over and looked up something on our one of our videos, and I had to look up a comment. I am here to plug a brand new channel. It's, oh man, I just forgot it again. I want to make sure I say it right. Rockin' Roots. It's ROCKIN with a little apostrophe. Rockin' Roots Ranch. She's just started making. We were number 14 to subscribe to her. She has good ideas that she's going to do. She was holding her camera this way, so I helped her understand to do it this way. So go over and blow her out of the water and subscribe to her. Rockin' Roots Ranch. That would be really, really good. Really fun person. So anyhow, plug.
Yeah.
So
what we recognize is we're alive in a really wonderful time. I mean, the knowledge, the information, and the ability to share it. And I think that's one of the big differences between now and the 70s is that if there had been a lot more sharing, then there would have been a lot better awareness of what was going on. As it was, you heard stories, you heard opinions, but you heard it third party. And here, today, you can get first-party information from people who are doing and experiencing, and there's just so much more information. So it's a great time.
Brenda's number 16.
There we go. Very good. Thank you, Brenda.
All right. I need to say hi to a few more people here that came on. Freedom Homestead and Jennifer. That's good. And Terry Mouse 77. Another 70s person.
Yeah, a lot of us in the 70s. Right?
So that's great. Renda, would it be okay to plug my favorite? Yes, heirloom tomato seed site. I'm sure everyone is planting gardens. Please share.
Yes.
Absolutely.
And now's the time. It's time for us to be ordering our seeds.
Will we be getting a dairy cow? Well, it was like number 2 on our list for the goals for 2019, and it is now completely on hold because of 5 pregnant goats.
Well, the reality is they're going to be producing a lot of milk, but the other part of that is we want to feed our animals as much as we can from the property here. What we don't know is how many head of whatever kind of animal can we really feed before we start to run out. We have to learn that for sure.
Plus, we want to learn how to really, really take care of the goats well before we add any other animals. So everyone go and look at what Dolly put down. She put down www.renaissancefarms.org. Okay, can you write that down?
Well, you got it.
I know, but I won't.
I can't spell Renaissance.
Well, RENAISSANCE. Did we finish our kitchen? Nope. We talked about it earlier. We're going to make a little video tonight for tomorrow. And
it's a slow process because things have to be glued together. I only have so many clamps, and so they have to dry. And then we only have a little stances of time here and there. So it goes really slow, but we're going to make good progress today.
And through Saturday.
The intention is, I'd say, to have the sink in. The problem is we need to get the countertop before we can do that. So.
I wanted to go back to what Dolly was saying. Curtis is a really nice guy, and he has a comprehensive offering. And so, okay, let's see. They're talking to each other, which is great. Great. I love that. Okay, so yes, we will definitely check it out. Freedom Homestead, hey, 180. They're saying hi to everyone, and they live near Mammoth Cave. So that's Freedom Homestead is.
You can do this.
Oh, I can't. Tangy.
Oh, okay.
Hi there. And hello from Kentucky. And do a little, and it gets, a little at a time. Hi, Steve.
Yeah, we keep at it every day a little bit.
Johnny Seeds. Has anybody ever used Annie's heirloom seeds? We used them when we lived in Oregon, but they're from Michigan. And we use them quite a bit. So we had that too.
Well, and what we found in Oregon, there were a lot of local. So then we started using all the local. Which is great. I mean, we had one that was about 5 miles from us. They produced a lot of different kinds of seeds. And
yeah, when you look at their address, it said Sweet Home. We're like, we live in Sweet Home.
Yeah. Just around the corner practically. It was pretty amazing. But
Linda, hi from North Carolina. So anyhow, so what's your strength?
My strength.
I can tell you what his strength is, but you go ahead and tell me.
I want to hear what you think.
No. I answered yesterday's first.
You might consider this a weakness, but I can't stop something once I start it. I will see it through.
It's like he won't let go of it, but that's good. I'm like, honey, it's all right. You doesn't matter if you can't do it. No, I can figure this out.
And how often do I fail?
Very seldom.
There you go.
Okay, so his strength is almost that. His strength is that he's not afraid to tackle anything. So when we were first married, he didn't know how to do anything. And I was like, what do you mean you don't know how to do anything? My dad knows how to do everything.
Like guys are born with this.
Guys are born with it, right? Well, then he learned how to do everything. And when our daughter was getting married, she said to her husband, what do you mean you don't know how to do that? My dad knows how to do everything. So that's a strength. He's not afraid to tackle anything. I just found an article that I had written that was a tribute to him that talked about how he'll tackle plumbing and electric and guitar and computers and relationships and everything. He's not afraid. That's your strength.
Okay, what's yours?
I don't know.
Well, this doesn't seem like an equal exchange here. And I want to say about this daughter who said those things. When she was a teenager, she was the only child left at home. She was the youngest. So she was drug along on a lot of trips to the hardware store.
Home Depot.
She hated it. And for a while, we were living a long way away from a hardware store. And so it was, just like a half day to get everything done if we went to the store. And she dreaded it. Now, the hardware store is one of her favorite places.
We're like, what do you mean you go to Home Depot? Well, that's where you get everything you need.
Oh, it's funny how we all.
I like what Brenda
up.
said. She said, there is, oh, wait, she moved up. Let me, whoa.
Slow down, Brenda.
There's a fine line between a strength and a weakness.
Well, yeah, it's the good news, bad news. The yin and yang of everything.
It says for strength, there is a weakness associated with it. Hello, Marianne.
Yep.
You're having liquid sunshine. Well, every California definitely needs liquid sunshine.
No
so
kidding.
we'll do that. What was the name of the channel? Rockin' Rant. Oh, let me go look. Rocking Roots, like ROOTS. Rocking Roots Ranch.
Very good.
Yeah. So go sub her.
Up and coming.
Tell her we sent you.
What's this HCL?
What are you looking for?
I don't know what that HCL is.
Okay. Other questions that you have, so we don't get you bored here. What's my strength? I light up a room. That's my strength.
She does. And of all of them that you could identify, I think that's the big one. And she doesn't really mean to. And sometimes she doesn't realize the effect that she has. I mean, she's like, oh, nobody likes me. I can't do anything. I'm just, I'll never be as good as these other folks. The room changes when she walks in. It's true. So
when I was a teenager, I was at a church dance and we had DJs there and they were actually giving the LPs, the little 45
Who
records.
remembers 45s, right?
When there was a song you like, and I had done a lot of contests or whatever, and I'd gotten a stack of them. And they started to play Donny Osmond's Puppy Love. And I went tearing across the gym up to the stand and said, I will give you my whole stack if you'll just give me that one song. And he said, whoa, you can have it. Well,
I have never heard that story, but I believe it.
So I tell that story today because still a Donny Osmond fan, and I belong to his Facebook and Instagram, and he had a picture of him holding his mirror ball with a screen cut with him with his little dog, and he goes, "Puppy love still wins out." that was on there today. So I was just saying, I lit up the room.
So. No doubt.
Okay, let me get back to these.
That was a good question, Dolly.
Oh, hi, Jen. Jen from Grateful Sunlight. She says my joy bubbles over. Yes,
Yeah.
It does.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, it does. Jane says I was the only child and thought I was raised at a lumber store, like Home Depot. Thought I was raised by a lumber store. Okay, yeah. So much of it is our attitude. Wow. We just got a message that said, unfortunately, YouTube has stopped. I told you the problems we're having today were YouTube related.
I am convinced.
Okay, I got to go back and read these because there were some good ones in here.
Good. Boy, this is frustrating. We may need to find a different way to do this.
Do or do not. There is no can't.
Absolutely.
I think Rinda's skill is research. Ah.
She's good at that too. Absolutely. But she still lights up a room.
What was the name?
Even when she's researching.
Rocking. Okay. So liquid sound.
Speaking of researching, it is a talent that she has. I mean, we've done a lot of family history. Or even, I'm looking at the indexes. I'm being
systematic. Mr. Systematic.
I'm not going to miss it. I'm going to find it if it's there. She walks down the row, pulls out something, and says, "I wonder if there's anything in here." And bingo, here's what she's looking for.
No, I can do that. I literally can. Here it is.
But she didn't even read the what's on the spline. Okay. She just pulls it out and looks at it.
Okay, we were in a bookstore. I was in.
Careful.
It was while I was in college, and a book literally fell out of the shelf onto my foot. Nobody was near it. And it was on adoption. And I read it. It was a story of a family who had adopted. And that's what led us to adopt our children. And we adopted them my last semester of college.
I don't know if she's a good researcher, but it falls on her foot.
Rinda's middle name should be Giggles. Oh my goodness, you guys, somebody knew my middle name because it's out there somewhere. Which Bluegrass Homestead named their baby girl after me. Charlotte Ray. My middle name is Ray. We were very touched.
Kind of surprised. Didn't know how to react to that one.
Okay, let me catch up. And I wore purple socks a long time. So I love Donnie.
Are they the fuzzy ones?
Oh, Trish is on here. Trish, I gave you a heartfelt, we're so sorry that you lost your little pumpkin. So to you. And we just keep, when it buffers the next time, you guys, we're just going to stop if we haven't stopped before then.
YouTube is driving me crazy today.
So I'm just going back really quick. I wonder about that crazy too. Yeah. Last night I was listening to Loretta, not a farm girl, and buffering was happening. Yeah, I just think they're doing, even he went in to set things up and they changed a whole bunch of stuff. For them to come in and say YouTube has stopped.
Yeah, there's some things going on, which makes me feel better. I mean, I felt like I was an idiot, couldn't get anything working, but
so
now I feel validated.
Trish, are you going live tonight on your normal? I know that's a sad day for you, so I don't blame you for not, but I want to know because I'm going to try to be there. So, all right. What else? Anybody, any other questions? We have know his strength. We know my strength. My weakness last night. Yesterday, I think it was Jess from Roots and Refuge was giving a video, and I went, or maybe it was 2 days ago, and I said, "Oh my word, she's describing me."
Yeah.
It was, it was like she was describing me, and she was describing herself. And so she came back and we had a comment about it in a thing, but she said she's a starter and Jess is a finisher.
Something we will probably in a future vlog is we bought something yesterday. We had to go a bit of a distance to get it. We didn't realize how
I'm going to
far
show
it
in tomorrow's video.
Okay, super. So you'll be seeing it tomorrow. But Rinda came across in Craigslist an ad for somebody who makes the nesting boxes for chickens. And, we needed a multiple one for these.
And it's not like we're not busy or not making...
But the price that he was charging...
Stanchions. I'm trying here.
We really didn't have the right wood for making one of these, so I was going to have to go scrounge, which when would I do that, or buy, which would cost a bit. And what he was charging was low enough that it didn't make sense to go to the trouble to get the wood and everything and saw it and take all the time. So we bought it from him, and he, put it together. It's nice. It's 6 boxes, not 8, right? It's 6.
Mm-hmm.
So it'll be great for him. It looks fantastic. We're planning on making use of it, but really a great situation. And this guy just started doing it in his garage. I mean, he's just kind of on the side to supplement their very low income. And I was
He's
pretty
our age.
amazed. But, you know, he didn't think they would sell, and his wife insisted try it, and he has sold hundreds of these things.
Thousands, he told me on the phone.
Well, he can't make up his mind. I don't know if he knows the difference.
Okay, I'd like to answer Vid UK. He said, your pasture, why did someone tell you they think it wouldn't be suitable as a garden, and what did you plant there? Okay, well, we haven't planted yet. They just said, oh, it's a pasture, you'll never be able to grow there, or it'll take you too long to be able to grow there. And I'm sure that next year will be way better than this year.
You know, you should have asked them what their experience had been.
I don't like to be confrontational.
That's not confrontational. Say, hey, you know, I'm planning on doing it. I'd love to know your experience, which maybe I can learn from.
Stan. Thank you. Aunt.
But, you know, that's a good point. I think because particular land has been a pasture doesn't mean you can't grow a garden there. If there's some other factors and, you know, that can feed into that, I can see it. I mean, if you've had large herds of animals that have compacted it down to where it can hardly grow, then putting a garden there could be a real challenge. I mean, if it's horrible ground that couldn't grow a garden, and that's why they made it a pasture.
I think it's going to be amazing.
From what we're seeing, the soil's fantastic. The grass that grows out there is huge. It grows large. It's very luscious. It seems to have fairly good drainage from what we're seeing, and plenty of moisture happening to it. So to me, it's got all the elements of being a great place to garden. So, and we're just going to do a regular vegetable garden there.
So I'm going to say this to Trish. We absolutely understand that you're not doing that. I mean, I'm just devastated by your loss, and we're scared to death for ours. I do want to. Somebody has a question out of the blue. I believe it's
out of the blue.
Yes, it's sent from Linda Kurtz, and Jennifer is asking it. Ask a question about how to save useful things without being overrun by stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So when my grandma passed away, my dad went in and was cleaning out some stuff of hers, and he found a little bottle that had string in it that said, string too small to do anything with.
I'm assuming that's not what they're asking about.
It was organized.
You know, that is a great question. If you don't have place to keep it, it gets harder. I mean, the more space that you have, the easier it is. I know a lot of people have what they call lay down yards, which is going to be a patch of ground big enough that you can put almost anything there. And whether it's piled up or spread around, you can organize it so that you're able to find it. And I think whatever you're doing is, if it exceeds the space you have, you need to rethink what you're doing, because you can't, it's going to be useless. You'll never find it if you've got it there. So you need to be able to store it where you can easily get your hands on it.
We haven't accomplished that yet.
Yeah. So we have plenty of space for that. So that's, you know, we have an abundance. So we're just disorganized.
I just want my kitchen.
So I think that's the trick, is you've got to adjust what you're trying to save to the space you have available.
Okay, so back to pasture.
That's just me.
Brenda says, I have a lot of time, but I just loaded the pasture space with old hay and it worked, but we're trying to get it faster. Yes, we are.
Yeah.
I have Little Creek Homestead said, I have pasture I'm turning into garden this year. Well, I'm going to give it my best effort. And we know that we're going to be putting American guinea hogs and pigs onto pasture areas so that they can prep it, but we don't have them right now. And so we're just going to prep it ourselves.
Yep.
So there is a newish channel called Honey Tree Farm. He is starting a market garden, sort of like JM style, starts with mowing and covering.
Yep.
Yeah. And that's what we're doing. We're mowing it with the place where when we did the little video on the BCS and we mulched it down, it's like this.
Yeah.
We are going to close this down. We usually only are on like 30 minutes, and Dolly, thank you so much for being a moderator for us. Last week we got inundated with trolls, so I appreciate it. I appreciate all of your comments. I appreciate you staying with us through YouTube knocking us down 3 times. And
we survived.
thank you so much for all of your gracious, beautiful comments that you send to us every day.
And now it's time to put animals to bed.
Now
It's
time
dark.
to put animals.
Thanks for watching.
Bye-bye.